Hey there again, folks, welcome back to my Let's Play of Remember11, The Age of Infinity. And last time, Satoru got wounded for unknown reasons. Or from unknown reasons, I guess I should say. Somebody seems to be out for his life. Who it is, we don't know, but let's find out. Probably 10 episodes from now. Just like Utsumi said, it isn't good to doubt people when you don't know anything yet. Right now, it's best if I just observe the situation. Utsumi dispensed the instructions to Yuni and Notori and then sat me down. Notori came pattering up to me with the first aid kit. Judging from her panicked appearance, she was probably worried about me as well. Yuni is watching at a distance. Perhaps he wasn't good with blood. She probably can't do anything to treat me while they're bloody like that. Semi tried it over to the sink. Then, as if saying, "I'll do it myself," Hattori pointed at the tip of her nose. Standing in front of me, she opened the first aid kit. Hattori's hands were clumsy. She was struggling to wrap the bandage. It got twisted halfway, and a puzzled expression like a question mark rose to her face. But still, it was clear that she was trying her best. Without looking directly at the wound, Yuni worried over me. On the other hand, Utsumi was behind Hattori, cheering her on. Suddenly remembered that out-of-place feeling. Utsumi called Hattori-chan very naturally, even though her real name was Inubushi Keiko. Yeah, and I also noticed in the intro, her name isn't listed as Keiko; it's listed as Hattori. So something about that. Are Hattori and Inubushi Keiko different enough to tell apart at a single glance? Two personalities in one space? Or is it that only the Hattori personality has surfaced lately? Thinking along those lines, an unpleasant thought comes to mind. What if the girl before my eyes who's treating me right now wasn't Hattori but Inubushi Keiko? Or maybe Inubushi Keiko never had the ID in the first place and she was only pretending she had the ID from the beginning. The possibility of her being the one who attacked me grew remarkably higher. Not noticing my feelings of unrest, Hattori let out a deep breath. The treatment was over before I knew it. My left arm was stiff from the bandage. It was really uneven. So he's very interesting. Well, I mean, got his reasons of it. Her reasons, obviously. Sheesh, got confused there. Even I'm having confusion problems. Yeah, that's suddenly went from being rather trustful of her, sorta, to not that trustful of her, sorta. There's a lot of sorta going on right now. Sorta, kinda know what's happening, but not really at all. I think that's everybody's view of it. Probably the case with everybody, even the, well, Sophia seems a little bit, no, sorta. But, Yomogi and them probably are like, sorta know how to handle her being crazy, but I guess Fia's used to it. Utsumi and, well, Yuni, I guess he's a kid, so. Although he's still very strange. Something is probably up with him. Tori smiled lightly at my words. Afterward, Utsumi wrapped the bandage again correctly and administered a painkiller. Thanks to that, the pain went way down. Except my head became a little foggy, a side effect of the painkiller most likely. Well, that's good. Last time, something that made her groggy saved her life somehow. Sat across the sofa and took a deep breath. Utsumi brought me a blanket. Sumi also sat down on the sofa. Yuni and Hattori sat down as well, relief on their
僕
faces.
が停電直したんだよ。すごいでしょ。偉いわ、ユニくん。いや、それほどでもないけど。もっと褒めて。
In the conversation, Hattori watched her smiling. Oh. I like Yuni's reaction. That wasn't a big deal. But come on, keep the praise coming now. There I was. It was dark, and I was fumbling around blindly. And there was the box. The circuit box. I totally knew it was a circuit box because I'm an educated person who can figure out the word circuit without having to have deep thoughts. And I reached and I put it and popped. And then I felt for all the switches. And this one was different. So I was like, shh, and the power came back on. It was epic. That is how it works, right? Pretty sure. I've actually only personally had to deal with it once. Yeah, that's how it works. Among these three people, I've had to deal with it 2 or 3 times. It's not something I have to deal with very often, obviously. Because normally when the power goes out, it's not anything specific with the circuit box. It normally just goes out because of a storm or, I don't know, people hitting a light pole. Among these three people, the one who is the one who attacked me. Although, yeah, I was saying in the last one that I'm not so certain about that personally. There might be room for other people to be there, if you could say that. There could be somebody hidden in the clock tower. Because Atsumi was saying that she didn't know how to get there, but Satoru did. But if it's somebody who was supposed to be a patient there, I think Atsumi would be like, yeah, there's somebody missing. Ralph, he's supposed to be here, but we haven't seen him in a while. It seems unimaginable looking at a calm scene like this, but it's certain that the culprit is among them. Who was it that attacked me? Why? To what end? During the treatment, they all seemed extremely kind. Everyone worked as hard as they could to treat Satoru with tender care. Underneath that mask of kindness, there's someone whose true nature is that of a killer. Who should I believe in? I can't trust anyone. I want to trust them, but I can't. There's no certainty. I can't be convinced. I feel like grabbing my head and screaming. Throb, my arm hurt. Throb. Even with the painkiller, it pulsed with pain whenever I moved. What would happen to him? What would happen to him if I was killed while in this body, Satoru's? What will become of my existence? What will become of his existence? The anxiety remains inside my head. It appears you both die. If one of you dies, you both die, apparently. Because Kokoro tried to go there and was like, whoa, dead end. This world and that world. The newspaper Yuni Inubushi, the personality transfer. And now there's attempted murder on top of that.
わからないことだらけだよ。ねえ、サトル。じゃなくて、ココロ。
Seemed Yuni still wasn't used to me being Fuyukawa Kokoro inside Satoru's body. He frowned for a moment from his mistake.
ココロ、どうしたの？
Once again, he stared into my
ね
face.
え、ココロも褒めてよ。僕が停電直したんだよ。すごくない？
Seeing Yuni's pure and guiltless smile, I hung my head and smiled too. I don't believe that this smiling child is the killer. I don't want to believe it. Swallowing the uneasiness in my mind, I try to act as normal as
すごい
possible.
ね。でしょ？どうやって直したの？電気の知識とかあるんだ。それは、あれをああしてこうしたんだよ。で、どうやって直したの？だからなんで聞くんだよ。なんで教えないのよ。言いたくないから。ユニ？だって。
ねえユニくん、もしまた停電があった時にユニくんの直した方法を知っていれば私たちでも対応できるでしょ。お願い教えて。
後で飴玉あげるから。
Although I don't have one on me.
食べ物に釣られたりなんかしない。
Oops, then it Sumi clapped her
そ
hands.
れじゃあ後でケーキ作ってあげるわ。
本当？ケーキ？
What happened to not being baited by food? Smiled bitterly. But still, I was genuinely enjoying this silly conversation. A gentle warmth spread through my distrustful heart. Even though this trivial everyday life was only natural until now, ever since the plane crash, everything's gone mad. I want to go back, even a moment sooner, to those days spent laughing innocently. Yuni easily confessed how he had done it. There really wasn't any reason for the power outage. The breaker on the panel had just been tripped. It's probably due to the earthquake, what Utsumi guessed. So Yuni had told us that he'd fix it. He hadn't really done anything but set the breaker back to how it was. That's why he didn't want to tell us so badly. But that's what he meant by fixing it. I wouldn't have known how to fix that when I was 11. Having said he fixed it with great confidence when he didn't actually do very much was probably embarrassing for him. By the way, it seems that there's no whipped cream stored in Sophia. So Yuni completely fell for Utsumi's lie. Thanks to that, it was a lot of work soothing Yuni out of his bad mood. It seems the panel was in the basement. I was attacked during the power outage with good timing. As the power outage wasn't caused by the earthquake, but by human hands, there might be a clue there about my attacker. I went to take a look. Uh-oh. The basement felt pleasantly cool. Now in this playthrough, I chose that she's scared of rats. Crap. I have a bad feeling about this then. I've been wondering how that came into play. I was thinking maybe it came into play when she went into the basement there at in the cabin earlier. But I used a pocket flashlight to examine the inside of the dimly lit room in detail. And my nose is really itching. The switchboard was near the ceiling. I couldn't see it very well from below. The cardboard box feels so unreliable, though. Yeah, Yuni's probably a lot lighter than her, at least a good bit lighter. So, cardboard box would not hold, I don't think would hold her up. Yeah, let's look for a footstool. I searched for something that looked like it could be used as a footstool. I just so happened to find a wooden box of appropriate height, so I used it in place of a footstool. I peered into the switchboard. There was nothing particularly suspicious there. Switches were covered in dust, but there was only one with an imprint left by Yuni's thin finger. There were no signs that it had been touched by other people. Was the breaker tripped by the earthquake after all? While tilting my head, I jumped down from the wooden box. At the moment I landed, I lost my balance. I made a decidedly unsightly landing. Falling on my bottom, tears of pain sprang to my eyes. Responding to Yuni's line with a wry smile, I feel a sensation similar to deja vu. I'd heard a similar line in the basement of a shelter cabin. I challenged him with the same question. Wonder what the Yuni here will answer. I like how that was kind of a Larry David type thing where from Curb Your Enthusiasm, where when he asks something and you just kind of. Okay. Kind of like that right there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's something very strange with this guy.
さっきも同じこと聞いたよね。
My heart jumped. Unintentionally began staring hardly at Yuni's face. Just like Larry David would.
さっき？さっきっていつ？さっきはさっきだよ。
When I asked him when he meant, he only replied with before. Seems that was all he was going to reply with, no matter how many times I asked. Left with no other choice, I changed the
あなた
question.
は私のことちゃんと知ってるのよね。え？冬川心のこと覚えてるでしょ？
Yuni's face instantly clouded over. The tone of his voice was devoid of the energy he'd had just before.
飛行機に乗ってて、そしたら墜落しちゃって、心が僕のことを待ってくれて、でもいつの間にかここに気がついたらこんなところに来てて、心もいなくて、すごく寂しくて。
Just as I thought. I was convinced.
本当に今のサトルは心なの？
Even then, Yuni appeared as if he was about to cry. Behind his glasses, his eyes began to grow wet. Poor Yuni, a child this small, thrown into such an unfair situation. Felt like taking him in my arms. However, I endured it. Because if I hugged him, then I might have started to cry too.
ほら、男の子なんだからメソメソしないの。
Intentionally tried to use a bright tone. Yuni's expression grew complex. Fuyukawa Kokoro had introduced Satoru. It was probably too difficult to erase that sense of incompatibility.
泣いてないもん。
As if trying to hide his tears, Yuni suddenly turned on his heel and ran up the stairs. Alone inside the now quiet basement, I bit my lip, as I thought Yuni was teleporting. I didn't know if the timing was the same, but there was a high possibility that it was the same cycle as when we changed places. I'm not buying that. Personally. Yeah. In other words, I never broke contact with this one Yuni. Yeah, I don't buy that, because this guy is very used to calling this character Satoru. He would not be that used to calling him that if this was the same Yuni that was in the cabin. That's my point of view of it. Another Yuni never broke contact with Satoru, or maybe there had never been another Yuni in the first place. This is getting so confusing. It'd be better to try to confirm this with Satoru. Since it's him, he may have been able to reach some sort of answer.
サトルか。
In this situation, no matter what anyone says, the only one I can put my absolute trust in is Satoru. Only Satoru, whom I'm unable to see or meet. Hey, what kind of person are you? Touched the bandage wrapped around my left arm. Well, certain that Satoru's wound wasn't self-inflicted. There's no reason. It's based on my intuition. My body shivered on remembering the fear that I felt in the darkness. But that was wrong. There was no way it was a self-inflicted wound.
ちょっと傷つけちゃったね。守ってあげられなかったね。
As if confirming the presence of its warmth, I silently rubbed my left arm. Okay, looks like the rats thing wasn't an issue there. Surely that's going to be an issue sometime down the road, the line. I returned to Satoru's private room. A dry bloodstain remained near the entrance. With that unpleasant feeling, I sat down on the bed. You need to get the... Good. I found a note left on top of the desk. It was a message from Satoru. Panicking, I pick up the note. Hey, come on, Kokoro. Ha! He was mad all of a sudden. He got a little angry. The scrawled sentences continued. Transfer at 107. That's it? That's all there is? Is this all you wanted to say? Certainly, as a reply, what you wrote was wonderfully concise. You replied perfectly with what I asked after all. I somehow understood what the illustration you attached meant too. But you know, isn't writing only one sentence a bit cold? Can't you, I don't know, write something with a little more depth? We can't meet in person, but at least we're lucky enough to be able to exchange information, right? Wouldn't anyone try to make use of this? You agree, right? We're kind of like partners, you know? Unintentionally burst into laughter. Yep, understood why you'd gotten angry. Sorry, seems like a guest has arrived. I'll continue writing later. Ah, right, before I forget to write it. Did you already listen to the voice recorder in the shelter cabin? I'm mentioning it again, just in case. Looks like someone's after me. Be careful. While I'm in the shelter cabin, I consider your body my top priority too. Well then, I'm counting on you, Kokoro. The part that says, sorry, seems like a guest has arrived, bothers me. Guest. Was that guest the culprit that was after Satoru? It was no use just thinking about it. I sat down in front of the desk and attempted a serious reply. I picked up a pen and started a new note. I used a fresh sheet of paper. I had run into this problem again. It's going to happen again, isn't it? I wasn't very good at writing letters in the first place. Right? Salutations. Please forgive the lateness of my reply. I hope this letter finds you well. With that said, something like Dear Satoru was way too embarrassing. It was somehow strangely awkward. I recall when I was in elementary school writing my first love letter. In those days, my parents wouldn't buy me a cell phone. Finally, somebody actually mentions a cell phone in them. She mentioned a cell phone before, didn't she, though? Therefore, I was a girl unfamiliar with email. In order to convey my feelings to the boy I liked, I wrote a letter analog on stationery. With my heart pounding into every letter of every line, I poured my entire spirit into what I wrote. Remembering it made me feel nostalgic, but embarrassed at the same time. By the way, as to whether my love was requited or not, I silently locked that up in my heart. Now was not the time to get lost reminiscing. I held the pen and put strength into my left hand. Come to think of it, my left arm was hurt. Even though I'm left-handed, I wouldn't be able to write anything like that. No other option, I held the pen in my right hand. For the opening sentence, I decided to go with something simple and straightforward. Nice to meet you, Yukito-san. Characters look like wiggling earthworms. I crunched up the memo paper into a ball and threw it behind me, but even so, my dominant arm was useless right now. I let out a sigh and took another stab at it. I feel like crying. I forced myself to go on, struggling against myself to continue writing. Nice to meet you, Yukito-san. I wonder what I should write. There are so many things I wanted to write, but I can't seem to bring it all together very well. You can probably tell just by looking, but my handwriting is like this too. This might be difficult to read, so please forgive me. First off, I'll report all the important things to you. I've read all the messages that you've left me on this notepad. I was only able to listen to half your message on the voice recorder left at the shelter cabin. But I was at least able to listen to up to, it seems someone's after me. And about your left arm, the one who cut your left arm, that someone was the one who did it. The person tried to take away your life. In other words, that's how it is, right? But just who is that someone? Please explain in a little more detail. What's happening with Satoru's body? Why is it that you believe someone is after you? Or then, did you say that on the shelter cabin's voice recorder too? I was only able to hear part of it, so I don't know. If by chance you didn't record it there, please reply here. But about the culprit. Truth is, it's not as if I don't have any ideas. Here I hesitated to continue writing. Wasn't confident enough to think that it was okay to write this. But in the meantime, if Satoru and I didn't properly share all our information between us, mysteries we would have been able to solve together would go unsolved. In the end, I stopped hesitating and continued to write. There's no reason to beat around the bush, so I'll just go ahead and write it. Suzukage Hitori-chan. Aware that she has DID, right? Recently, she's been fixed in her Hitori personality, though. However, I don't think it'd be unusual for her hidden personality to awake at any time. By her hidden personality, I mean the other personality within her. Personality that killed 12 people in Awazumi Hospital. It may be possible that the personality is targeting you, Satoru. I say that, but it's not as if I have any decisive evidence. It might not be appropriate to write things like this, even though I don't have any real evidence. Even so, I don't think it would be going overboard to just give a warning. Be careful, just in case. Next, about Yuni. It's extremely complicated, so I can't say it very well. What should I do? That's right. She's writing this? I like that. Okay, first, there's something I need to ask you. Have you ever met a young boy by the name of Kusuda Yuni? You know, right now I'm thinking this. That maybe Yuni is teleporting. Teleporting as in both his body and consciousness are transferring together. And the timing of his teleportation is the exact same as when Satoru and I transfer. You get what I'm trying to say? In other words, at the same time that I transfer back to Mount Akakura, Yuni's mind and body jump back to Mount Akakura as well. Because if that isn't so, I can't explain how Yuni could exist as two people at the same time. That's why, by my prediction, Satoru shouldn't have met Yuni even once. That's what I thought. Which is it really? Have you met Yuni or haven't you? Please tell me. I have two more things I want to tell you to tell me. The first is about Sophia. Satoru should know much more than I do about this facility, right? That's why I want you to tell me everything about Sophia. Like how to get outside and how to communicate with the outside world. Second is about the shelter cabin. And this time that I'm away from the cabin, please tell me if anything important happens. I'm sorry, it feels like all I'm writing is please tell me, and things like that. As an apology, here's the report. First about the earthquake. An earthquake occurred at Sophia. Because of that, the breaker was stripped and a blackout occurred. It's fixed now, though. And the times of transfer? I checked properly, just like you told me, so here they are below. 107, transfer to Sophia. 140, return to shelter cabin. 603, transfer to Sophia. 636, return to the shelter cabin. 733, transfer to Sophia. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 33. So 6 after 8, another transfer. But wait, if this isn't a day 2, then they would have transferred way more than what they have. So is what she's saying that she's only spent 33? She only spends 33 minutes at a time there at Sophia. To be honest, it felt like it'd been about halfway. Yeah. And also, I like how 33 is. 11 will go into 33 3 times. So really, she only spent, whenever she goes to Sophia, she's only there for 33 minutes. That's interesting. I really felt like it was about half and half. I guess I was wrong. Transfers occurred 5 times, 2.5 round trips, and at present I'm still here. Wait, is this only 1 day? No, 2 days. Right? Looks like the times are all over the place, but do you think there's a pattern? Well then, one last thing, I'll do as much as I can while I'm in this world, so Satoru 2, please take care of my body. Things are pretty bad here, but it's a serious situation there too. It might be kind of weird to say this, but please try not to die. No matter what happens, I'll protect your body until the very end. So you too, Satoru, please protect my body. Live, survive, the two of us together. We'll escape this weird phenomenon. And then, I can't think of anything else. Anyway, I'm waiting for the day I can meet you. For sure, somewhere we'll, so this is where Kokoro will enter your message. Kindly forgive the roughness of that. Later then, P.S. If you do anything weird to my body, I'll never forgive you. Don't touch it too much, okay? Either don't touch it at all. Just leave the poo there. I'll deal with it later. If the others give you a weird look and smell, just be like, deal with it. Come to think of it, I forgot to write something important about the newspaper. You saw it too, right, Satoru? The newspaper is in the shelter cabin. Man, she gave him an earful that time. Yeah, looks like it. I like how she's sitting, like, yeah, she's totally sitting like a dude there. I like that. That's funny. Anyway, I went pretty long with this one, so I do hope you folks enjoyed, and hopefully we're gonna find some stuff out within the next 50 episodes. So I do hope you folks enjoyed, and I shall see you in the next one. Farewell there. Hit the wrong button. See you in the next one.